Welcome back to my Summer Abroad series. We're on stop 9. This stop is India with the film Phoonk 2. Now, if you don't know what this film is about, children and their father who are on vacation are then terrorized by their mother and wife, respectively. First of all, I didn't really like this film. There were some good elements to it, but overall there was so much hype for it and it just didn't deliver on that hype. Like one of those films, I'm sure you can think of some films. Overall, I felt that the film was actually boring. Cinematography is decent, like it's not the best, and there's some passable elements in it, which is good. Not enough that makes the film stand out. And it might be the version that I saw, but there's a subtle shake to the transfer where the film is kind of, best way I can describe it, in most scenes it was actually very distracting. There's mirror shots in the film and they're great. Probably one of the best things about the film was the mirror shots. The music is pretty good. Framing is also pretty good. There's some interesting shots. Now, I'm not sure if this was meant to be in the film, or it was intentional that they did this, but there's some out of focus shots, and it kind of took you out of it a little bit. Lighting is okay. The camera quality definitely could be better for a film from 2010. I'm not sure what it was shot on. Color correction could have been more realistic and have a more cinematic look. It just looked very weird. Don't really know how to describe it. The trailer was actually really good, but the movie not as good as the trailer. Honestly, I don't know what the difference was, what made the trailer better. Yeah, if you sit through the movie, you'll see that there's a weird look to the film and it looks almost maybe soap opera-ish. That's probably the best way I could describe it. I don't know, it was just weird. A weird sound design, but somehow it works for the film. I don't know how, but somehow works and is definitely one of the better parts of it. Not better parts, but one of the good parts. The writing overall, bad. Like, there's no other way to describe it. The writing is just bad in this film. The sound effects aren't mixed properly, and they seem to be heightened and or exaggerated to the point where they stand out, and it sounds like they just placed them in. The story isn't really that believable for some reason. Now, it could very well be that I'm missing something completely because of like different cultural influences and stuff like that. But if I am missing something about this film that will make it infinitely better, please let me know in the comments. I felt like the green screen beach scene, like I'm not sure if they used green screen for it, but it kind of looked like it. It seemed to be overlit, like too much lighting, overexposed. That's the word I was probably trying to think of at the time. But the beach scene overall is very weird and feels like it belongs in a different movie. The reason being is one of the traditional Bollywood songs, like Happy, and it's great for that scene. It fits well. So overall, that scene was actually pretty good compared to the rest of the film. Honestly, thinking back on it, makes me want to actually check out more like Bollywood films, like with the full-on musical numbers, dancing, and all that. Yeah, I know it sounds weird, but I think I'd be interested in checking those films out. So if you know of any that are really good, put it down in the comments because I'd love to see them. The POV shots are interesting, but the way that they're executed make them uncomfortable to watch. And I kind of touch upon how the color correction is in here, and it kind of looks like a student film. Like, if you've ever seen student films, you know there's a certain quality or look that distinguishes it, and it's like, okay, yeah, that you can clearly tell that's a student film. Having myself been exposed to a lot of student films because I actually studied film in film school, so yeah, there was a lot. Kind of know what I'm talking about with that. There's some transitional shots that are weird, and by weird I mean they're unfocused, but as they're coming into focus, they complete the transition, and you can see it coming into focus, but it switches to the next scene too quickly, and it just kind of takes you out of it a little bit. There is an Evil Dead reference in the woods. There's some POV shots that are in the woods of, like, if you know Evil Dead, you know the shots I'm talking about, where the camera's traveling through the woods. In this film, it goes too fast, and it doesn't work. Like, if it was maybe half the speed that it was in the film, you know, it probably could work and add to the film and be one of the highlights of it, but yeah. So I already did state that it was overall kind of boring for me. The acting isn't really that believable. Maybe that's because of the writing, I don't know. I'd have to watch more films with the individual actors to see if it's their acting or the film. The editing is passable, but at the same time, it's really questionable. Being an editor myself, yeah, it just didn't really work. I was really excited about seeing this film because back in maybe 2010, 2012, I heard about the contest that the producer was putting on for the film. So me and my friend wanted to actually find a film that would really scare us, and we thought, you know, this could be it, because nobody seemed to have watched it alone, and yeah, I watched it alone. I didn't fall asleep. There has been some films where I have done that, so it was at least watchable. It just didn't live up to the hype that I remember from it, and that was really disappointing for me and my friend when I told him. Will I watch it again? Maybe. Maybe a discussion video, I don't know. If I had to give this film a rating, taking everything into account, and with most films, I start off, when I'm watching them with an analytical mind, I start off at 5 out of 10, and then the film can either go either way, like below or above. And actually for a bit, this film, like the beginning portion, it actually got up to a 7. And then as the film went on, it went down to what I'm settling on with a 4.5. It was really hard to find this film, so I doubt any of you are actually gonna find a copy of it to check out for yourselves. Now, I haven't watched it, but I think there's a copy of it on YouTube free, so I'll link that in the description for you to check out if you want. If you don't, and you're satisfied with this review, then I did my job. So I hope you enjoyed this review, and yeah, comment below any Bollywood films that you think I should check out or give a chance. I'll put them down on a list, and if I get enough for a series or something, I'll do those as like 1 month, just all Bollywood films. Stay tuned for the next ones. I think the next stop that we're going to be stopping in Singapore. It's actually a collaboration between 3, I guess you could say, territories in China. So we got Taiwan, Singapore, and Hong Kong. Like, I'm not sure what the actual... A collaboration between, I guess, countries. I guess I should have said instead of territories, but I actually got 2 films. The next 2 films are films from my favorite Chinese director. Herman Yao. Yeah, Singapore and Hong Kong, and they're both pretty brutal films. Actually, up until the 15th stop, yeah, these are really brutal films. I don't think many people would be able to get through these, so if you don't want to watch those reviews, I don't blame you, because I'm going to be talking as close as I can to what's going to be expected, or what's in the film. If you are going to check it out, next one is going to be The Second Coming in Singapore. So I'll see you in that review.